it's people don't take lightning. Oh, people don't take lightning near as serious as they should. So, you know, if there's any chance of lightning where you're at, you should definitely take shelter. Look at this. Yeah, that just happened.
I wonder if they heard it.
There goes all that metal I thought we were going to save off the side. That's done for.
I don't think you're going to have any metal saved. It's still popping.
It's still popping. That limb up there is popping. Man, that's the eeriest thing. All right, that's enough.
Right by
Look
this
at
tree.
this.
She walked right by this tree.
This huge oak
hadn't been in
tree.
that, I mean, it couldn't have been more than
Just
a
got
minute or
struck
two
by lightning at my
after
in-laws'
she walked
house
by it.
not 2 hours ago.
So,
Look at the debris. It just blew the bark off this tree. Unbelievable. I mean, look, it just peeled it off. Just blew it off. It's scattered all over, up under the carport. It's halfway down to the house on the driveway. This is unbelievable. Just insane. I've never seen anything like it. Look up in the tree. Huh? Hang on. You can see where it got hit. That big main limb right there is just laid open all the way down. Now the worst part about this is that it also fried the house. I'll have to show you some of that here in a minute. So this is their main rig on the side of the house. Main power coming in. They've got a generator, backup generator panel, and this is the main panel on the outside of the house. This panel had this 100 amp breaker. You can see the bow in the panel. So this panel exploded or arced, whatever you want to say it. Obviously it blew the phone line to bits. The surge maybe came through the phone lines the way it looks. I mean, see, it just shattered this thing, blew the copper wrapping off there. There's bits of coppers all the way over there on the ground. But yeah, it just destroyed this 100 amp breaker that feeds the shop. The shop panel, I'll try to show you guys, it looked even worse than this one. It's blown to bits as well. Power company's here right now. They're working on resetting things up on their pole, trying to establish power back to the meter. If we get the meter working, we can actually bypass this panel. The septic looks like it's fine. This breaker, we'll go ahead and take it out, disconnect it. It's obviously junk. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. But if this panel's hot, these two lines here feed through and go on to the main house and inside the main panel inside the house. And that panel looks like it's fine. I don't see any sign of anything. It wasn't even tripped. We tripped it ourselves now, but it was not tripped. So it all looks fine. I don't have any concerns with this. I mean, there's not even a little bit of smoke anywhere in here. So this one should be fine. So if they can restore power to the meter and through that initial 200 amp, this breaker was tripped. But if they can restore power to here, then we're gonna see this is a little smoked here, but that's where this breaker was at. Then we'll try to flip this one on and hopefully restore power to the whole house, and then we'll go about function testing things in the house. This panel, this feeds out to the garage panel, which is also exploded. But we can replace that panel at a later date. So long as we can work within this panel and everything's fine, then we can just, you know, have this breaker disconnected, which kills the whole shop, and we can replace the shop panel on our own whenever we need to later. It's not as critical as getting the house working again. So just tinkering for right now, waiting for the thumbs up from the power company guys to tell us that this meter is working, and then they'll come over here and actually test it and hook it back up. So here's the grand poobah. This is the one that really was catastrophic. We took the faceplate off, but we didn't wiggle those breakers around. That's how they arranged themselves when we took the faceplate off. So this is out in the shop. I mean, it just flat blew this box up. Breakers in there just busted to pieces, things bent, torn. So yeah, no secret about that. This one, well, there's the faceplate off of it. You can see how it's bulged and warped out as well. So this whole panel will get replaced. There's not going to be a, you know, good enough on this one like there is on the house. The house is actually fine. We just had a electrician out. He checked everything over. He was comfortable with the way it looked. As far as the damage from the lightning strike, we did find some other issues. about how it was all bonded, and it turns out the whole house is not properly bonded, which could be maybe why the power surge is, you know, as destructive as it was. But most likely, because the main panel of the house actually wasn't fried, so I think the only thing they lost in the house we figured out so far was the microwave got popped, and maybe something else, but I think just the microwave. So the actual contents of the house are in great shape. The contents of the shop itself, none of the, you know, most valuable tools or equipment was plugged in or running, so those are all fine. Like I said, my wife's cell phone charger got smoked. It was actually smoldering. It was plugged in right here, and you can see where the edge of that box is black because her cell phone was sitting there smoldering. The charger was sitting there smoldering. Her phone is fine, luckily. So anyway, that's going to all get replaced. But the house itself is not properly bonded, and we found some other issues with wiring that maybe it was up to code at the time. The house isn't that old though, but it's not best practice now. It's not really up to current code. So we're going to address that as needed. But the one other thing we looked at out here, so this piece of conduit and wire there, you can see it's just blown in half. That comes out of the little lean-to over there where my father-in-law's just walking in. There's a little receptacle out there. And we were looking at this water line, and we said, well, at least we don't have a blown water line. And then we walked over here. Actually, my wife walked out and said, I think there's a water leak because it's not raining anymore. And here's this big puddle, and there was a little river of water running down over the edge of the hill. So there's a water line. Whoa, wow. There's a water line somewhere in there that washed all that out. So that probably, I mean, when this tree got hit, this tree got rocked, you know, and so it probably just exploded whatever was under the ground. It's kind of interesting to stand here. That's what I just stepped in. That's all mushy. I about went down. So yeah, still kind of assessing the damage. We think we found it all now. Yeah, a bit of bark up there on the roof of the shop. We think we found it all now. Long and short of it, this tree's coming down, no doubt about it. This thing is just busted all to bits. Hopefully we can actually get some value out of the log maybe. I mean, it's got a big split coming all the way down to right there. Maybe it goes all the way down to the ground, but I might still be able to get some cuts out of either side of the split. I mean, some of the upper branches up there are 20 inches plus, so there's some logs in this tree. If we can just get somebody out here to lay it down, that's what we need at least. Somebody to at least get it on the ground and we can take it from there. So yeah, assessing the damage, busted water line, a whole lot of busted electrical. That's what it boils down to. This will be fun. Well, we didn't make it. It's the day after. Tree made it overnight. They had 2 tree guys come out and quote it today to get it removed. And another storm blew through this afternoon, well, about an hour ago. And this first half went down, and you can hear it still going. If you guys listen, you keep hearing a random pop, pop, pop. That's boards and branches that continue to break. Occasionally you'll hear the tree up here do a little pop. It just keeps unloading bit by bit. I imagine this section, since it stood through this last storm, it'll stay standing. They got a tree guy scheduled tomorrow to come out and take it all down because it's not going to stay standing forever. It's going to die and then fall.
7 a.m. they're supposed to be here.
Oh, it'll probably fall right out here where I'm parked. So I think I'm going to move the vehicle just in case. But yeah, kind of spooky to hear it just sitting there popping bit by bit and unloading. But it picked off the pole barn here. We were hoping it wouldn't, but it did. And I think we maybe can salvage some metal out of it. I mean, that other wall's fine. This wall's fine. I was hoping I could salvage the trusses, but that middle one I think is done for. And the front one's done for too, because you can see it's already a little rotten, but right up here it's twisted and it broke right there. So it's really, I mean, that truss to get a new one, replacement value is probably like 120 bucks, so it's really not anything to worry about. Sorry, I keep hearing that tree pop. It's distracting me. But yeah, this little shed, I mean, they were kind of thinking about taking it down anyway. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise, who knows. But sad anyway. Sad to see the big guy go, and we are not going to salvage it for the sawmill. It's really just logistically, it's just not worth it. We need this tree done, down, gone, out of here as fast as possible. And I don't know when I would ever come over here to pick these logs up off the ground, if I can even pick them up with my tractor. So we'll send them off. There's plenty of trees down here. I can get a tree probably any day, every day if I wanted one. I know enough people I can go get a tree if I ever decide I want an oak log. So just thought I'd show this as a little bit of closure. It sounds like everything's moving forward. They had the insurance adjuster to look things over. They sent him a bunch of pictures to look at. But now they got some more to send him because it wasn't like this morning. So yeah, crazy what it can do. Nature is a powerful, powerful beast. So you know, I think I failed to mention in the earlier video, but we actually got extremely, that sucker's still popping, that scared me. We actually got extremely lucky when the tree got hit by lightning, because it actually struck before the storm really started. It hadn't really even started raining, and so my wife and my kids were still out here, and my 5-year-old daughter had just walked by, not 20 feet from that tree, walking up to the shop to talk to my wife. She just walked by not 2 minutes before that, and it got blasted. And, you know, based on that debris that I was showing you guys on the bark all scattered about, you know, she probably would have been hit by debris, I don't know, but nothing else, it certainly would have scared her if it didn't, you know, jump over and hit her. So got lucky there. A little blessing, I guess. There's nothing really a blessing about this big tree falling down. It's still so scary. It's sitting here cracking and popping. But I just figured I'd mention that. You know, it's, people don't take lightning. Oh, people don't take lightning near as serious as they should. So, you know, if there's any chance of lightning where you're at, you should definitely take shelter.